Hello, Harjan. I'm Olaf Rorian Ku of Atlantia, and for more than a year I have been trapped here in my study with my books. So I'm of a mind to tell you some stories. Now, once, long ago, but not so long as it's not remembered, Bishop William Elphinstone of Aberdeen decided that he wanted to make his church school into a university. And so he sent off to the Pope to send a legate to examine his students. Well, as they were waiting for the legate to arrive, Bishop Elphinstone began to get a little bit nervous. And so he got together with his students, and they came up with a plan in order to impress the legate. So when the legate arrived, he was headed down the road to Aberdeen, and he saw a farmer by the side of the road, and he said, "Farmer, is this the road to Aberdeen?" The farmer looked up and in perfect Latin said, Yes, this is the road. Just keep down the way and you'll get there." "Ooh," said the legate. "What a wonderfully educated community where even the farmers can speak Latin." I went further down the road, and as he came to the edge of the town, he saw a wheelwright working upon a wheel, and he said, "Oh, there, fellow, if I follow this road, will it take me to the cathedral?" And the wheelwright said, Aye, it will," in perfect Greek. "Just go down this road," said the wheelwright. "Ooh," said the legate. "What a wonderfully educated community, if even the craftspeople speak Greek." And so he headed further into the town, and as he came nigh unto the cathedral, he saw there a group of apprentices, and he did not know which way to go to get to Bishop Elphinstone, so he asked them, "Good lads, can you tell me where I might find Bishop Elphinstone?" And the apprentices responded to him, "Yes, we can take you to him," in perfect Hebrew. "Ooh," thought the legate. "Oh, what a finely educated community, if even the apprentices speak Hebrew." And so the apprentices, who, like the crofter and the wheelwright, were actually students in disguise, led him to Bishop Elphinstone. When he came into Bishop Elphinstone's study, he said, "Good Bishop, I have never been so impressed with the level of education in a community. I mean, your farmers speak Latin, your craftsmen speak Greek, and your apprentices speak Hebrew. Oh, I will have to give your students an even more stringent exam. Therefore, I will give them the examination of the signs." "Oh," said Bishop Elphinstone, "that sounds wonderful. I'm sure they will enjoy it. Let me go get my best student for you." And he hurried out of the study. He went to his students and he said, Wait. The legate wants to give you the examination of the signs. Have any of you ever heard of the examination of the signs?" All the students said, "No, we've never heard of that. We don't know what to do." And they all began to panic and babble among themselves when the gardener spoke up. "Oh, wait, I'll take care of this for you. Tell you what you do. You give me one of the students' robes. I'll put it on. I'll go into the study and I'll take the exam. Now, obviously, I'll fail the exam, but then you can reveal that I am simply the gardener, and I can tell your students what the exam is." Well, they thought this was a great idea. And so they gave one of the student robes to the gardener and straightened up his hair a little bit and sent him in. And when the gardener got into the room, there was the legate, sitting in a chair, staring at him coldly. The gardener didn't know what to do, so he just waited, and then the legate held up a single finger. Gardener blinked for a moment and then held up 2 fingers. The legate sat back, looking slightly concerned. and he reached into his pouch and pulled out an apple. The gardener, seeing this, reached into his pouch and pulled out an old crust of bread. The legate leapt to his feet. Oh my God! Oh my God! I've never seen such knowledge before! And he raced out to the study to where Bishop Elphinstone was, and he said, Bishop, your church school is now a university. I have never seen anyone handle the examination of the signs as well as your student did. I held up one finger, the sign that there is only one God. And your student held up two fingers, showing that there is God and Jesus, the dual nature. So I held up an apple as the symbol of the fall from grace, and he held up a crust of bread, the symbol of salvation through the sacraments. Oh, Bishop, this is so wonderful. I must hurry back to Rome and tell the Pope what a wonderful school you have here at Aberdeen. Once the legate had left, Bishop Elphinstone went to the gardener and said, What the devil did you do? How did you know the signs? The gardener said, I didn't know nothing. He held up one finger like he was going to poke out my eye. So I held up two fingers to show him I'd poke out both of his. Then he pulled out an apple like he was going to throw it in my head. I didn't have anything heavy, so I pulled out my lunch and I was going to throw that at him. And then he ran out of the room. And that is how Aberdeen became a university. Now, I think I have time for one more short story. This is a story about bards, about performers. Now, many people poo-poo performers. They say we bards, we minstrels are not anything. But I tell you, we are some of the most powerful folk. Once, long ago, William the Bastard of Normandy took it into his head to become King of England. And so he came over to England with his great Norman knights to try to defeat King Harold. Well, King Harold had gotten word of William's coming and had marched directly south after killing Harold Hardrada and his brother Tostig, and arrived at Baden Hill, where he and the Saxons set up a shield wall. The Saxons stood there atop the hill, giving the typical greeting to foreigners. Out! 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 Well, the Norman knights looked up at that shield wall and they said, Ha ha ha, William, sod this, we're pissing off home. There's no way we can break through that wall. By the time we've charged up the hill, our horses will be moving so slowly that we won't be able to break through the wall. And meanwhile, their arrows will be falling down on us the whole time. Now, William began to argue with his men, but that's when William's minstrel, the boy who helped him on with his boots in the morning and sang him to sleep at night, jumped on a horse, grabbed a sword, and rode up towards the Saxon line. He rode back and forth in front of the Saxons, juggling the sword, tossing it so that it caught in the light of the sun. And as he did that, he sang of the Song of Roland. And when he came to the passage in the Song of Roland, where Roland says, Ours is not to live in glory, ours is but to die for duty, he turned and charged into the line. Well, of course, he was cut down almost immediately, for he was not a mighty knight. He was just a minstrel, the boy who helped William on with his boots in the morning and sang him to sleep at night. But down below, the Norman knights were filled with shame that this boy would do what they did not dare. And so they mounted their horses and they charged up the hill, and just as they thought, they hit the shield wall too soft and had to retreat down the hill. 3 times they did that. But each time they did, the Norman archers crept slightly further up the hill. Until finally, after the 3rd charge, an arrow arced over the line and struck King Harold in the eye, killing him. Well, all the thanes from the line left their soldiers and went back to be around their dying king, without leaders. The housecarls on the shield wall, seeing the Normans retreating down the hill, having known that their king was struck, charged down the hill after the Normans, and of course the Norman cavalry swept around and crushed them. And then the Normans rode slowly up the hill and slew every one of the Saxon thanes as they stood around their dead king. And that is how William the Bastard became King of England. Not because of his cunning, not because of the mighty Norman knights, but because of his minstrel, the boy who helped him on with his boots in the morning and sang him to sleep at night. And so, my friends, I say, never forget how powerful you are as a bard.